Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Floor 26 podcast, the show made by young people for everybody. My name is Adam Duffy, and I am joined by all of my wonderful co-hosts, Parsa Pahlevankhah.
There we go.
You better put illustrious back in that motherfucker.
All my illustrious co-hosts. Terez Hill, next.
Well,
Yeah,
hey,
goddamn.
Nick, what did I tell you? Every time TJ talks, man.
It's like we're on a boat.
Over the call, I have Jack Casey,
What's up? How are you guys?
and I have a good friend sitting next to me right now, Nick Muckerman, everybody.
My guy. Clap for him, Adam.
Oh my God! How do we always forget what the button is? There
Sorry,
we
I
go.
forget. I'm sorry. My
There
bad.
we go.
Dude,
Nice.
Okay.
He has one job, and it's
me
to
with
man
the-
the buttons,
Hit me
man.
with the horn.
You want to swap, Parsa? You want to swap? You think you can do this better than I can?
Okay, let's run it.
Oh wow.
Just for the record, this is the first time this has happened in any episode, and they switched spots.
Are they actually switching
They
spots?
actually
Yeah.
have Parsa sitting in
Whoa.
Adam's spot.
Oh my
Yo,
God.
this
The
is
tension
way
in
more
the room.
chaotic.
All right.
Y'all really put Parsa next to me.
God damn, your head's massive.
It's tiny as fuck.
I think we're just all very competitive.
What is your headphones suck,
I
dude?
think it's a mix
No,
of.
Dude,
no,
my
no,
headphones
TJ,
actually
TJ,
do
that's,
suck.
TJ, that's
Yeah.
not what it is. It's that Parsa has an ego. That's all it
Ooh.
is, literally.
He
I swear,
he
Jack,
has a-
Jack gets
he's-
so
but he's
offensive about this,
competitive.
man.
He's competitive.
Okay.
So is Adam.
Well, yeah. So all of us are here today, and we have a special guest, Nick. Nick
My
Muckerman.
boy's so thrown off.
Nick is a good friend of mine. He went to the same high school as the four of us sitting here today. And right now, Nick, you go to Georgia State, right?
Correct.
And
Did that shit.
are you technically a sophomore,
Yes, technically.
even though you've been out of high school for 2
Yeah, I'm
years?
21 years old.
All right, and that's because after your freshman year, you left. You took a gap off of school to live a rock star lifestyle, from what I'm remembering.
Oh, man, I would not put. It was okay on the surface, absolutely, just because that was what was on the snap. You
I
know?
mean, oh yeah, seeing your snaps and like just hearing anecdotes from what you were doing, I was like,
Did you have a
damn.
private story I wasn't on?
yeah.
Wow.
For sure.
Parsa,
I'm
you
sorry.
don't
know, man.
No, like and
That's
it's,
that hurt.
It's not even like that. It's just like I made it, and then
Because
no, I don't keep tabs
'cause-
on who's in it.
Because you saw Rockstar Lifestyle, I saw Nick off the map. Like he was, I'd see his snap maps in the middle of like nowhere, and then like it'd just be like, okay, I guess he's there.
No, his snap maps were hilarious sometimes, especially when like it wouldn't place you on like an island. You'd be like out in the ocean. I'd be like,
yeah, it was an island. It was just so tiny. You could go left or right, like the entire island in like 45 minutes, maybe.
damn, driving or just walking?
Driving.
Okay, damn, that's still pretty small.
Walking.
That'd be-
Walking's like a solid day. No,
Well,
probably
the thing
less.
is, it's like it's an island, so it's essentially beach and then
Mhm.
hill. So
Oh,
there's
wow.
a lot of. It's like pretty much a mountain.
and is just like a single town on it.
Yeah, who lives there?
So the island we're all talking about is Tortola. And
This nigga is adventurous.
Well, I guess backtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I
so
feel like
lost.
Backtrack
Yeah.
and
He
tell
is
us.
adventurous.
I'll just backtrack it. Okay, so
give us a good summary, like rundown of what.
yeah,
you-
so I actually have it on my note. So pretty much my great uncle, Ramar Sutton, wrote a book in the 80s called Body Worry, and it blew up because it was like you see everyone nowadays with vlogging diets and like, oh yeah, eat this way. It's essentially everyone on fitness IG, right?
Yeah.
But he did that in a book in the 80s called Body Worry, and it blew up, and that's kind of like what put him on the map for writing. And so from that, he kind of tried to stay in that circle, just by like connecting with other people, because when you branch out into that world, you kind of like once you meet one person, you kind of are then shown everyone else. Like
Yeah.
it's really weird, and I kind of experienced that, but in a much more tame version. But do I need to get closer?
No, you're tall actually, like surprisingly tall. I forgot how tall you are.
Yeah, Parsa, do you
I'm
feel
trying to-
a little incompetent?
I'm trying to sit up straight.
There you go.
Don't worry, Parsa. You still got a good stature to you.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I work on my back. That's all we hit.
Oh wait, did we trade waters?
No, that's your water.
Okay.
I moved mine.
Thank you.
Okay, and so now he founded a foundation called Foolproof. It's a financial literacy foundation. So it essentially tries to
A consulting
help-
firm.
No, it's just it tries to educate kids about the importance of finances without the bias of like actual like
Corporation?
banks. Yeah, right. So like Visa
Okay.
has like an information learning system like that, but it's Visa.
Sign up for high interest loans and
Right. Exactly. So
Right. They're educating you, but making a penny off of you at the same time.
right. And the Foolproof's thing is like it's they don't make money, it's a nonprofit. Like it's completely free. I should have the numbers, I forget, but they're in a lot of school systems all throughout the country. And, it's free, and they try and implement it in curriculums. Like Florida, it is, or at least was, as of like 2019, mandatory for all students to graduate with like a financial literacy course done. And so for
That's a
like,
great idea.
yeah,
That's
so
actually like one of the better things I've heard ever.
because like everyone
And
complains.
it came out of Florida?
Yeah.
Right,
Damn,
right, out
bro.
of Florida, because they were like, we need to educate these dumbasses about money, pretty much.
Because Wheeler took away business classes like after our freshman year for a year. They took it all away because that was the pathway that I was
Yeah.
on.
And
Mhm.
didn't
To finish.
it came back, didn't
It
it?
came back like a year or two later, but then I was like balls deep into everything else. So like there was no point in going back at it. But I really wanted to like go into like the finance and like just learning about it.
I don't know Wheeler like provided those types of courses.
It
fuck,
did.
you
and
were-
then
you were
it
there
went
for a
away.
week,
Yeah,
though.
you.
Oh.
Yeah, TJ, you were barely there, bro.
I'm like, oh snap! What did I miss?
But East,
3
East
years,
Cobb Middle
apparently.
has it. They have Foolproof, but it's not
That's
like
nice.
it's not like a school specific. It could be school specific, but a lot of the times it's like individual teachers.
Mm-hmm.
And like if you're a school like counties, like a school system, and you're like all of a sudden you need to teach your kids about finances, and then all of a sudden you find an entire course online for free meant for students that has a board full of like reputable members.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked for him and them pretty much, and my like job with Foolproof was they wanted to get into gaming.
I remember this like in the early, like when you 1st
Mhm.
left.
And so Ramar always has interns. He's had an intern since the 80s just because like he's a busy person, and like that requires someone to deal with a lot of crap you don't have time for.
Mhm.
But also like to learn and to see what it could be like what hard work can like pay off as, and like kind of like a little inspiration jump, but also like you're gonna get your work in. Like my ass was tired.
yeah, you're gonna do your fair share.
Bro, when that entire time I was gone, government, this is okay. It was voluntary. I got 3 days off. My birthday, Christmas, and like a sick day.
okay, wait. So you went to Georgia State your freshman year and then left
Mhm.
for this? Is that what
Yes,
happened?
because
Okay.
when Ramar decided that like he needed another intern because he has one pretty much yearly or like X amount of years. It depends on how long one decides to stay, or if they're doing something with the foundation, depending if the project's finished or not, they'll stay that long. But not every intern does something like that.
Mhm.
But he asked me like, hey, we want to get into gaming. I also need an intern. You're older now. Like you can make these decisions if you want to. We can talk about it. I was like, okay, cool. But it's weird because like I'm incredibly lucky because this dude is my great uncle, and the only way he would have known me is because like he's my great uncle.
Yeah.
And that is that. But that being said, all of the previous interns have also just been like just random dudes, not like kids who come from like
Off the street.
not like even off the street or like if they have wealth. It's like if he witnesses you putting in work, he's gonna be like, hey, let's talk.
Had you known him very well before?
No,
Because like great uncle, I have great uncles. I've never met them before, and I feel
Yeah,
like
same.
it's a pretty big disconnect.
there was like because I knew my grandpa, his brother, very well because that's my mom's dad,
Uh-huh.
and so like I knew him very well, and I knew of Ramar. I called him Bubba then. He's Ramar now.
He's your boss now.
yeah. Don't call him Bubba.
Like he's still Uncle Bubba, but like Ramar.
Sir, Mr. Ramar.
Yeah, but I didn't. But no, I didn't really know him that well until I was like 17 when he just emailed me out the blue. He was like, "Hey, like you're like older now. Like let's like communicate. Like let's
Wait, so you
Let's
haven't
get
had
this
met
bread
him?
together.
I hadn't met him. Like, I had met him, but I was a child. Like, I was a kid. I didn't, like,
Did
really
you-
know the man.
When you got that email, did you ask your mom if it was legit? Because if I got an email from my great uncle named
Asking to Western Union you
A-
some
a-
money.
yeah, asking for an internship, I would think it was a scam. Off the bat.
For sure. But, like, he sent me, like, a Kindle when I was, like, 13.
Okay.
Because, like, you know, the man
Kindle.
writes.
For, like graduating elementary school or something.
Yeah, because, you know, the man wrote, so, like, books are very important to
Oh,
him.
okay.
And so he felt that I needed a Kindle. I was like, fuck yeah.
And Kindles are fire.
Yeah, exactly. I
We were
still
talking
have
about
one.
this a few
no pun
episodes
intended,
ago.
Adam.
Yeah, no pun intended. Wait, so
My eyes don't hurt when I read it.
that was 8 years ago,
There you
like
go.
2012. Perfect. That was,
Shit
that was
still
prime.
works.
Shit still
Mint.
works.
And you,
So
so
wait,
I'll buy that off of
His-
you, Doug.
his nonprofit foundation is located on this super tiny island.
so no, technically they're like pretty much all online, but technically they're based out of, I think it's Holland.
One
or
of the Nordic
Actually,
countries.
I think it's Florida. I forget where, because like it's kind of like a worldwide situation.
It's an IGO.
Because Foolproof actually was Will DeHoe, one of the earlier interns in like the 2000s. He, backtracking a little more, one of Ramar's really good friends was Walter Cronkite. You know, like
Yeah.
the
Oh.
reporter. Like they were really, really, really good friends for a while, and so he kind of was in that group of, you know, I guess celebrities, but just like reputable reporters.
Yeah,
you know, like
writers and
people.
reporters.
But it's also like Walter Cronkite.
Yeah.
Like when Kennedy was assassinated, it was Walter Cronkite announcing it. But like he didn't know that, like they would meet, you know, down the line. It's just, you know, he wrote a book and then like he thought it was cool and they talked and it's like, you know, you're actually pretty chill. Because Ramar also wrote books on, it was car buying. He sold cars for a really long time. And then he's like, I know a lot of the rip-offs that they do. And so I'm going to write a book about it. And then he did. And that was also pretty popular. But he also got a lot of hate for it because all of a sudden a whole bunch of people are now educated on how they're getting ripped off.
Facts.
So
Okay.
that's why he moved to the islands, because it was like a lot more, like it was just less troublesome.
It was the Wyoming of Ramar.
Yeah, you go to Wyoming. Like,
Yeah, but he prefers sunny beaches and like, you know, who doesn't?
yeah, like not a whole lot of people, nice weather,
Mm-hmm.
maybe looser rules on certain things.
Right.
Precisely. So
Definitely.
when he hit you up about being an intern for
Mhm.
for X amount of time, was this like at like the second semester of your freshman year, and you sort of
So because Jack's question was like, have I ever met him? I had like known him. We went back and forth email over the years. And then when I was 17, he was like, do you want to check out my place in Tortola? Because my mom went there for their honeymoon when they got married back in the day, because he lived in St. Thomas and then lost a house because of a hurricane and then moved to Tortola, the British Virgin Islands. And that was the island I was on,
Mhm.
the one that looked like I was in the middle of the ocean on the snap maps.
was Tortola an island in Assassin's Creed Black Flag? I feel like it was.
I mean, it definitely could have been, because I
Could
mean
have
that's
been where it's
Caribbean.
located,
I mean,
yeah.
it's 100 miles east of Puerto Rico, and then the Bahamas are much more west.
Black Flag took place like the northernmost point was the southern tip of Florida. Then to the east was
Got me thinking
Cuba,
about
and
Edward
then-
or is it Edward
yeah,
Kenway?
Edward Kenway, yeah.
How do you even get to an island like that? It's like, is
So-
it like?
So if you're me, you fly to Miami, and then you fly to St. Thomas, and then you take a ferry boat. That's like an hour and a half.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no way in hell like a plane's just going to that.
They do have an airport.
But there's a drug cartel's
Probably not
like
that big.
personal
It's
runway.
probably expensive as crap to fly
yeah,
there, though.
like Pablo
Bingo
Escobar's.
was his name-o. It's expensive,
Uh-huh,
like, because it's tiny planes
Oh, 100%. Yeah, you have to get like a
and
Yeah.
dangerous.
yeah. They got to distribute you by weight to make sure the plane is
Yeah,
balanced. In the
literally.
air.
It's not for me. I'd rather just take a bigger plane
Oh,
on
yeah.
a little bit bigger, and plus, like, you can deal with American customs a little bit easier
Yeah. Okay.
when you
yeah.
land in
In a-
U.S. grounds.
yeah, U.S. territory. So you went there first after you accepted this internship, right?
No, so I in 2017 he was like, do you want to see the place or told? I was like, okay, cool, yeah. And so I saw it during like spring break, and then I went back home, and then like we stayed a lot more in contact. I also befriended the intern then. His name's Frederick. Cool ass guy. Frederick, if you're watching, I found this man's wallet in Florida years after he lost it. The shit, it was kind of a mind fuck. I thought I was tripping.
What?
Really?
Yeah, and
In Florida.
maybe we'll get to that, but anyways, befriending Frederick was good because he was like more my age, but like kind of like a big brother figure. Real cool. He's Danish because Ramar also lived, when he's not in Tortola, he's in Denmark, because that's just where he lived.
It's good
Or
country.
not
This
live,
man's
he spends a
insane.
lot of time there.
Do you hear me?
Yeah, dude, this man's insane.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
what
The man puts in work.
He
what
reminds
was
me
the
of, like,
job that
Mr.
like you had to
Deeds
do?
almost.
Like,
so
for him.
so he was like, yeah, you met Frederick, you know the whole situation. You kind of know what goes in it. Would you be interested in doing it? If you did, you would be working on this. You'd be working with this company. What's my company? It's Dot Fire. They're a game, like a educational game making company.
Like EA.
Probably not like EA.
Not at all.
Probably like cool math.
EA has
Bro,
shitty
don't get me started on-
servers.
Don't get me started on EA, bro.
microtransactions.
No.
No, we don't run that. And they were in Hong Kong, so that's where they were based
yeah.
out of. But
God.
now it's technically Singapore, because if you know anything about Hong Kong,
Yeah, is Hong Kong, is that just that's just part of China, right? That's that city in China. You guessed.
No way.
and I knew where the button was. Anyways,
So is Fire kind of like they're a developer that makes like STEM games? I'm
yeah,
guessing?
that's that exactly.
Okay.
You can look them
Okay.
up. That's exactly what they are. And so.
You said educational games, and that was the
Mhm.
first thing that came to mind.
So the reason we're connected to DDF is because Ramar back in the day, are y'all familiar with Sweet Life on Deck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay, so in the 60s
shit.
there was this boat called the US 7 Seas, and it was pretty much like a college. I don't know if it was high school or college, but it was one of those two, young adult
Like-
age.
I like
And you spend a semester at sea, traveling the world, learning and shit.
fucking crazy.
And so when he was on there, he met a super cool guy of the name of Po Chung. And if you know who that is, he founded DHL, the shipping service.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
Holy.
and they're friends, and I met him when we went to Hong Kong. Super cool guy. I'm not going to act like we're close at all because, I just met the dude like once or twice. But he's very nice, very generous guy. But so he was like, oh, yeah, we know these developers in Hong Kong, super cool guys we'll connect it to. And so that's how we got introduced, or how Foolproof got introduced to DDF. I was just pulled in as like Foolproof segment to understanding what the hell they're talking about.
Damn,
Because none of them would have known. Well, they understand like the idea, but like they don't understand apps like I do.
yeah, just a young face in there.
Exactly. Like any of us would have understood what
Yeah,
DDF is talking
Any
about.
like under
more so.
20-something-year-old.
Mhm.
But it does sound like you were in quite like you were like a you were almost in like over your head in terms of just like all these big guys kind of
from going from a foolish year of college at Georgia State. I did well school wise, but it was also like first you go crazy. First year
college.
it's college,
You
baby.
know what I'm saying?
You live in it's whatever.
YOLO.
Exactly. To go from that to like essentially like business all the goddamn time.
like global business. Like
Yeah, like way the fuck over my. Yeah, it was like I adjusted.
it was a big learning
But
curve though.
yeah, yes, exactly. And I will say it was like the best experience of my life because like
But that's
before
good
I was a
trait to
little
have,
little
though.
dickhead before. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, you needed that to kind of
Mhm. It like really just puts you.
It
in
humbled you?
Oh, 100. It puts
Dude,
you in
taking
perspective.
taking a semester off is like some crazy shit. Cause me and my friends always talk about it. Like a couple of people in our friend group like just went to Utah to like just work at like a skiing resort just for a year. Just
do you know what it was called?
I have no clue.
Okay, because I know all the ski resorts.
You know? Alright.
Adam's like, oh.
Oh, Utah.
Oh.
Yeah, so they have this like Utah joke, and I'm like, I hate it, but like it'll be super fun. And like me and
No,
my
it
friends
should.
were talking about like taking a semester off and going work at a ranch.
If you
That would be fun, though.
listen, if you can, I like totally would recommend it. Like, granted, I come from like a very I acknowledge how out of nowhere and lucky I am. Because like I said, this wouldn't have happened if I wasn't related to the man.
Yeah.
But the 19, 20 other interns weren't related. So
Mm-hmm.
there you go. But what I did with DDF was like pretty much create a game essentially that merged foolproofs, what they teach with DDF's ability to create STEM games.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what we did.
So did you guys like create any successful products?
I mean, yeah,
That's
the
dope as fuck,
app
bro.
just as of like a few days ago just was put on the App Store. So if you want to check it out, it's called the Neighbor Mood. It's essentially like The Sims meets like like the real world aspect of GTA. Like you have a phone, like you walk around, like you interact.
Dude, Sims and GTA, that just sounds
Like,
nice right there.
But like, and you make your own like avatar. Like the character's name is ALI, so it could be Ollie, Allie, whatever the hell.
Definitely.
It's whatever.
Gender neutral.
And so like, yeah, we, wanted to make a game that kids could like learn, but not be bored as fuck.
yeah.
Because I know what it's like to play a shitty educational game. We all do.
Yeah.
And we know what it's like to play fun app games. And so I was like, I'm going to try my goddamn hardest.
I think educational Minecraft has to be the best educational game created because you don't learn anything. Like there's not a single thing that benefits you in that
they
game
had
but
it-
playing
Minecraft?
Minecraft.
Had it
I have
on
to
Cobb County
disagree.
Computers.
I have
Yeah.
to disagree.
It was nice to play on computers at school.
I feel like you could definitely learn off of Minecraft, though.
I guess like just the element of
Shit, you could give a kid 2 drumsticks and they could just fucking ding ding, or they can learn how to like.
the biggest thing that Isaac, the 5-year-old, he's gone really into Minecraft, and the biggest thing I've noticed is that he'll like say like, Adam, I'm gonna build a hotel, like a really big building, and then he starts off and he'll come up to me all the time, like, and he'll ask for help, like getting something out of the inventory, in creative mode, and then he'll tell me like, it's really hard, it's taking a long time, and I'm like, buddy, that's the thing, you got to stick with the project, you got to finish out
But
that
that's
big
teach them
building.
perseverance.
That's that too, but then again, it's also like it sounds like it's good for like young architects, like building
Yeah.
up and stuff
Shit.
like that.
If a kid knows how to work redstone,
Oh,
You
dude,
know.
I never
That
learned
is
how to
so
work
true.
bro, you
redstone,
know that
bro.
kid's smart as
Redstone?
hell.
He's gonna build
Holy
build,
shit.
Dude,
build
redstone is some like
supercomputers.
next level.
Oh, you
like,
go to Georgia Tech? Yeah, I was working with redstone when I was 11. Shut the fuck up. Like,
yeah, you got a degree.
listen, we both know what we're doing. All right?
You got a master's in computer science. I worked with Redstone.
I
for
can
at
make a
least-
fucking hotel with showers.
I can make a calculator.
You hear me, bro?
So
Nick, let me ask you this: do you think that STEM overall as an education platform is kind of like a trend right now, like kind of like a fad that'll go away? Like kind of like I'm not gonna compare it to like Common Core because that's kind of like a government issued thing, but STEM in itself is kind of a brand that doesn't really have an identity, and I feel like it's a trend that's gonna go away. I think so at least.
I think you can see it like trade schools, like back in the day.
Yeah, that's
dudes were
true.
going to trade school for high school all the time. Carpentry, welding, plumbing, whatever. It's just you either pick to go to a public school or you pick to go to the public trade school. And then
Right.
now we have a whole bunch of 40, 50-year-old men who haven't gone to college because they went to a trade school, which is fine because they learned their trade at school.
they're happy and they make good
Exactly,
money.
they do because it
Mhm.
worked. But like what you're saying with STEM, I think so because Wheeler at least or in East Cobb Middle School had STEM
Bro,
in
back
like 20
yeah.
like I felt like
13?
2010 even because they
Yeah.
had it and I was there in 2010 or 2011 actually.
Mhm.
But so I think East Cobb was a little ahead of the trend. But I think if like a school's like actually dedicated on like focusing on STEM, because Wheeler also doubles as a magnet school.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think like if you pair it like that, I think you would get a much better grasp at it versus some random public school that says they have a STEM program.
the reason it turned me off, and I mean not turned me off, but I just didn't really see it as a thing that will stick in middle school and high school was because they like shoved it down our throats. They're like, "Oh, this is great. You should do this. This is STEM." They were treating it like they were pitching it to us. Like, let
And-
me
yeah,
experience it
all
for
the
myself.
slogans.
Yeah, well, and that I
Yeah,
think
all the,
that's
like,
anytime
contractions
anything's
and
shoved in your
slogans and-
face.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're never gonna like anything that's kind of forced down your throat like
I,
that.
I feel like that's with everything. Like coming back to how he's a like author and he writes books, and I don't know if I was talking about it with you guys, and like how I feel like reading a book would be great, and I feel like reading books is a great habit to get into, but we're all so like burnt out of it because we're all forced to read the same like
Yeah, but we also read so much. I mean, we're on our phones all the time. What are we doing?
Reading.
We're reading.
I read articles a lot, and
Yes, but even that, if we're looking at Instagram, when we're looking at pictures, you might be reading the caption. Like
Comments.
You're on Snapchat, you're looking at stories, you're reading the title cards, and then you're clicking through the stories, and then you choose to swipe
but
up.
that reading and like reading slang
Versus
on
a book,
Instagram versus a book is completely
novel reading versus social. But listen, social media.
I guess it's like that's the thing where like when it comes to reading, what's the goal? Like what are the things you achieve by
It's
reading?
what you're reading.
There's the thing of like you're learning something specific about reading.
Because novels are published, you know.
Yeah, or two, you're just reading to like keep your mind acute because that is just the kind of the base level. But like on the subject
and stuff like that.
and like
also it goes back to what we were just saying. Like in school, you're forced to read a book or a novel. You're forced to. If you're just reading, if you want to read Harry Potter right now because you say it's entertaining, you'll enjoy it more.
Right, for
than
sure.
Reading it for assignment.
For
and
sure.
I feel like that also not trying to get political or religious, it also goes with religion to me too. I feel like a lot of people are not so fond of religion because of how much it's been shoved down like their throats, whether it's by their parents or like community.
I think the same thing about
But
politics.
but I still
100%.
think that falls under the
100%.
aspect if anything shoved in your face, you're not gonna like it.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. What we already said.
Yeah, exactly. It just goes back to that.
But with STEM at like our school, I think it did produce some good things. I mean, we had like one like in terms of like student benefit. I mean, we had like a robotics team that was really well
We had a
ranked.
team that went overseas.
Yeah.
An F1 team that and
yeah,
like
the F1 team.
and, like,
they
those
went to,
dude-
Abu
and
Dhabi.
Wheeler?
Circuit runners. Or
Circuit runners, the robotics team.
You did not live that big of
And
like,
those
under that
things,
big of
those
a rock.
things, those things at our school.
Wait, what
Did
did
you
they
ever
do?
listen to the announcements?
Yeah, man.
They went where?
I was saying, bro,
They went to Dubai. They went to Dubai. Yeah, Dubai.
Really?
That's
Yes, they did.
dangerous.
UFC's in Dubai now.
But it was a sports team or it's like academic?
No. Oh
It's
my
a
God, TJ,
robotics
you
team.
Were at Wheeler
Robotics.
for like 2 seconds,
Whoa.
bro.
You answer that.
Okay, but like, I mean, that's a small
Like they-
portion of students.
Like a big ass robot? Created like a big
It was a
We'll
car,
tell you about it later.
man.
We'll tell you about it later. Okay,
It's
let me
not
say
like,
something.
It's not like Zoe 101 death bots, bro.
Okay,
Right.
okay. But with that, so it is a small portion of students, but I do think it benefits those students, as in like those students that will actually go into robotics and they'll actually maybe do something with their lives. And then as a whole, I mean, I don't know. I'm probably looking at it through rose covered glasses, but like I have a very positive perception of Wheeler and for the most part it's academics where like I view very positively the environment of teaching there as well as a lot of the things that have come out of it. I mean, in our senior year we saw the manifestation of the Wheeler Club that grows food and gives it to
Oh yeah, I
Families
remember
in
that. I had to do
Wheeler
so much
Fresh.
for that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
Wheeler
Wheeler
Fresh.
Fresh.
Yeah.
That's pretty
fresh.
dope. I didn't know about that.
and it was called a cross-curricular STEAM
I
campaign.
love that.
Oh, dude, it had nothing to do with anything, bro. Like it was, they were trying to
think
make
about
it steam
Think
so
about
bad.
No,
Think
it
about
did.
Think
It
about
did.
Horticulture, they made a website, like the computer science kids
Okay.
made a website. The business classes from from our friend's mom, who ran the business classes,
Hey, what's up, bro?
they
Hit my man.
they they directed like the efforts in general. It was like a cross class movement. I do think that was a good result of having like a STEAM focused program.
That's a great example, Adam. I didn't even think about that, but that's a
TJ, are you mad that I hit you?
Bro, you were just fucking assaulting the man for
Like
5
twice, this
seconds.
nigga going back to back to back.
Wait, did I hit him more than
What did I say, Nick?
Wait, did I-
Every time.
Did I hit him more than once?
Hell yeah, this motherfucker going back to back to back.
Is it not obvious that you hit this man?
like
I did
twice.
More than one time.
I only noticed once. I
All
promise.
Nixie is my head going like this
No,
in the camera.
to be honest with you, I really just caught the last one because I just see you looking at me like, what the fuck is this man doing? Like, speak up, bro.
Okay, we'll have to look it back to the recording. But
We'll have to have an instant
We'll rope it back
replay.
in.
I'm very confused. I'm sure Jack is too.
He just looks so.
I can't.
Jack's
see
just
anything,
Jack's
so
just he's been dealing with this for the last 35 minutes. He'll be
Yeah.
alright.
But so we were talking about STEM in schools
Yeah.
and all that, and I do think that
Mhm.
I think it's good, and I definitely think it's what I really advocate for the pushing of kids to not the pushing, but the like opening avenues for kids to go to trade schools after high school. And I think that
After high school?
yeah, like trade colleges to learn like a craft, because it's sort of been
I feel like we should
deintegrated
just
from like a high
I
school.
feel like we should just have trade school because my dad went
Trade-
to a trade school.
I think
A
a trade
trade school
school
If he was
degree
at, like,
isn't going to
Avatech,
overtake a high school degree.
I mean, but like if someone like wants to just be like, I want to do this.
Well,
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, well, when it's in high school, like our curriculum has sort of solidified in high school where it would have to be probably
Common Core.
it would probably have to be
Mhm.
a post high school thing. But
If
the
they
thing-
could do like a dual enrollment type of situation, put like where kids go to like college.
yeah, focus on
you
it
know?
more because what we see now is that so many college degrees don't do anything for you in a workplace, and
Honestly,
there's still such, but we're losing trade people now. Like
Yeah.
we're losing carpenters and plumbers.
That's
and
why
all
they
that.
get paid a lot of money.
Yeah, and like they
Like,
get paid good
if
money.
you want to go into welding,
And yeah, and even like
they make bank.
bro, they make bank welders,
Yeah.
plumbers, low key.
They
Just,
stack
you know,
it
Kevin?
on bread.
Does he make bank?
Kevin Roca?
yeah,
Yeah.
Kevin.
Well, Kevin is a granite man, and
he
that's
flexes.
a whole other.
He flexes
that's
so
a-
hard.
That's a whole other
Man,
Realm of
material of just like.
but all forms of education are so influential.
Where I was saying, like, I'm really glad, like, they did that to the people that came in after us, because a lot of people just did gym back to back to back to back to
like
back
the
to
kids
back to
just-
back to back to back, weight training, gym, team sports, back to back. Like,
But then
at some
again-
point, you gotta like get
True.
tired.
Yeah.
True, but
Mhm.
then again, you also got to understand some of the kids got like the mindset that sports is going to carry them a long way. You know, and that's where you get most of those kids that are picking, gym and athletics and stuff back to back to back. But I do feel like we definitely. I'm not just singling out Wheeler because I think after Coach Love came, he sort of kind of did dispute to the players like, okay, football may not be your only outlet, so you might want to start picking
and
them grades up
And
big
he
time.
and he got a lot of the football players to just
Definitely.
accept the scholarship just to get that education.
Yes, definitely, regardless
Good
of
for
what it
him,
was in.
then.
So, like, I applaud
Mhm.
stuff like that, but I think schools in general need to do it because, like I said, education is very influential. It's one of our
Yeah.
10 institutions which make up our society, so it's very needed. But, we have to have a better structure in schooling, as far as them encouraging students, like, okay, you can learn how to maintain basketball, football, and get good grades. You ain't got to just
Okay,
focus on one.
so funny you say that. That's what I put in the game
Mhm.
because the character, right? He plays soccer, but also has like a little business he has. But he wants to get another job, so he looks at all these different. You can look at these different jobs, which ones pay more for how long you work, and then you like choose a bank or it might be a credit union. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get my ass whooped for saying the wrong thing. Dead ass. Anyways, I'm
Laws
pretty.
are different over on the island,
Getting
bro.
it fired, but like retroactively.
Nah, I'm pretty sure it's a credit union you join. I think there's options though, and that's the thing. Like you actually kind of want to read it because they might be finessing you. But then it's also like you need to. It's called the neighbor mood because like your financial and not just financial, but like how you interact affects your community and like the people around you. So like, you want to balance school, but you also want to balance your finances without teetering over too much. And if you teeter like too far in one, like if you go bankrupt over, if you like are failing over, but you also have like this whole storyline where at school and you can make these decisions of like, do I skip class or do I like what do I want to
That's
do?
dope, though.
It's literally I try like it wasn't just me, like they did so I just like help with the story.
Yeah, were you just more like a
portion.
creative?
Mhm.
Okay.
That I will say I had a lot of time put in because I did not
Eat your
sleep.
cookies, bro. Eat
I
your
did not
cookies.
sleep, but they did so much. Like it looked so much different from like, because I got kind of hands off when I left, in the earlier portion of the year. But by then it was like at that point already beta, like we could see it and function with it and play with it. But now it looks even better. So it's really cool to see. But yeah, back to like trying to not bore kids
Mhm.
in an educational sense. That could be kind of fun.
Yeah,
So-
I could see that being really useful for kids. I don't know if I could play that game because it might be too real.
Well,
Like I'm just playing my
because
life.
that's the thing. Like I wanted, or we wanted it to be able to be
Relatable.
played in school.
It was pretty much budget project, I guess.
I mean,
but not on paper and in a game.
I mean, it was on paper for. I mean, when we went to Hong Kong, they like showed us like a very, very, very early version of it, and I was like, okay, so we work from here, and then from then on, it was like kind of like drawings, like examples of like what we want things to look like, and then what possibly, because originally we wanted to have like multiple cities you could play in, but then we were like, they can't be real places. We have to have fake places. What can these people look like? What can they say? There's so much.
So in Hong Kong, that was like the pre-planning phase.
Well, that's also where they're based. So like that's where they work.
And then Hong Kong, that was in what, 2018?
19?
Early 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was it how was Hong Kong?
I went May 2019. And my sister lives there too.
Yeah.
That's just kind of a coincidence, if we're being honest. That's just a coincidence. So I got to see her there. It was chill. It was cool. I got to see a lot of different things because Foolproof was working with some schools there. And so we were able to go to one of the universities that were, trying to teach like finances and whatnot, kind of with Foolproof. So I got to see cool school aspects, and I got to see cool like touristy aspects of like the island.
Yeah,
It's
Hong Kong
insane.
seems like a wonderful place.
It's literally just land, and then
it's built
skies.
it's just up. Like
it's
they
that.
just keep building up.
It's that. It is that, and it does not end.
It's like Manhattan of
you
China.
go left, right.
Or
How
that is
polluted is it?
It can be kind of bad, kind of like the entire mainland, but I mean, it's a good place still. Like,
yeah,
it's
it was.
not-
I mean, honestly, like it wasn't like that bad. It was terrible.
it's probably worse during the winter. How long did you stay there?
I was there for like 2 weeks.
Okay, yeah.
My phone got stolen. That was kind of ass.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wait, did they
In
give you
Hong
like a
Kong, it got
Chinese ass
stolen?
phone?
Well, I had
Huawei?
a work phone.
Actually, it's Hong Kong, so they have American goods.
Yeah. I think they also had Huawei though. Like I had a work phone, but it was like Android, so I was like really struggling for like a month because like I had to call Apple, but it was like 2 a.m.
Oh shoot!
And so like, I was like, I have to call them now because by the time I wake up my morning, they're not gonna be awake. So I called the woman. I'm like, my shit got stolen, yada yada yada, and yeah, they picked up the 7th time I called for like 10 seconds.
Jesus.
And then hung up. I was like, all right, so you're just a dick.
How you gonna answer my shit and then decline?
Right.
My shit?
So I had to like somehow figure out how to get a phone. And
That sounds like fun, man. I mean, sure you could get.
But I mean,
hop
like
into-
it was. I mean, honestly, it wasn't really anything. It was just like, damn, I kind of lost my phone. I had a lot of notes on there, but like,
It's an experience though.
yeah,
That's
I mean,
nice.
shoot, it could have been worse. I was in a really cool place.
Your phone got
Oh.
stolen in Hong Kong.
There you go.
My notes
What a
are so
story to
cherished.
tell.
I have those on cloud, everything. All
Yeah.
my devices have my notes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
because
thing.
of that.
I had a Mac, so luckily I could still like
Yeah.
kind of text
Yeah.
and like I had my notes, but I was like, fuck.
If you're even like one ball into the Apple ecosystem, you're fine.
I keep all my
Yeah.
important notes on a Google Doc.
But the thing was, they wanted like another like authorization, and the only other thing I had that was Apple was my iPad that was at home. So I had to text my mom, be like, my shit got stolen. I need you to boot up the old iPad mini, put it in, and just ignore everything you see. It
Don't
just,
open no messages, no
don't go.
images, don't go through
No,
nothing.
facts.
Just
Apple,
do that one
Apple
thing.
does that. Apple does that by default now. They put 2-factor authentication on, just assuming you have a second device.
Mhm.
Like you could be a brand new person to technology, go buy an iPhone, and to set it up, you need 2-factor. You don't have another device.
Right.
It is,
Get your
people
homie.
complain about it all the time.
it doesn't make sense. And I was just really losing my mind. My mom was getting frustrated
Aw.
because I felt bad, but it was also like,
I need you to do this.
I need you to do this.
I'm
Mom.
gonna get attacked in Hong Kong, and I
I-
can't call the police.
I got this nice woman on Apple helping me, and I just want to go to bed because at this point it's like 5 a.m, and I'm just dying because I have shit to do the next day. Yeah,
That sucks, man.
it was cool though. It's fun. It was an experience.
Was it? I mean, was it anything like it is now? Like,
Well, when we went, it was like literally like a few weeks before shit started hitting the fan.
yeah,
So it
because
was
it was late
pretty
2019
timely.
is when a lot of the drama there started happening. So I guess you got out right before.
And
got
for
out.
Got out
the,
at a
for the
good time.
record, they're
It didn't
not.
start hitting until late.
Sorry?
Not Chinese.
It didn't really
just for
start
the
getting
record.
serious until late 19.
Yeah, like in winter of 2019,
Mhm.
then all this year it's been like the real big problems with it.
Well, yeah. Do you like know why? Like what the issue is?
With what?
Like Hong Kong, like they're, yeah.
It's
Aren't they
Parsa,
straight
they're
now?
not-
as far-
Aren't they
they're not talking
COVID
about-
free now, bro?
They're not talking about COVID. They're
Oh,
talking
what are
about
they
like,
talking
government
about?
and stuff.
we're
Yeah.
talking. There was a
There's like a whole ass
there was a
revolution.
basically there
happening.
was a
Oh,
early-
with the riots
Mhm.
and okay.
I think just basically there is this document that said that China and Hong Kong don't need to talk about their issues for X amount of years.
Well,
And
because in the 90s, because Hong Kong was, it's not Chinese. Like when they were created, it was like with, like I guess
it was owned by Great
Western
Britain.
like government. It's like we're gonna function like capitalists. Like we're gonna have money in and out all the time. That's
Definitely.
what we want to do. But it was only for a certain amount of time, and then they were like, okay, we're gonna push off the issue for like 50 more years.
Yeah.
And then now we're like in 2020, people are like, hey, yo, China's kind of like overstepping their boundaries. We're not really there yet.
Yeah, it's
And
like
also,
way
we don't want to
before
be Chinese.
that mark. Yeah.
And so that's the whole,
Yeah.
whole.
I remember I remember this incident with Blizzard, the video game company.
Mhm.
On during the 2019 into 2020 World Tournament for Hearthstone, one of their games, one of their players, after winning a match, got on. He was a Chinese player, and he got on and he like put on like a gas mask and like held up a sign and said "Free Hong Kong."
Yeah, I saw that.
And he was like buried by Blizzard into the ground. I mean, just suspended, all his money taken.
If you are interested, there's a really good, I think it's Dateline. There's a Dateline documentary on it. It's really good.
Dayline NBC. I'm Chris
I
Hansen.
don't think it's Dateline NBC. I could be fucking wrong.
There's a
but-
documentary on just Hong Kong in general, like its
Mhm.
its situation right now.
Yeah, it came out like early 2020, so it's like about a year old now. But it's still like, because everything just kind of, because they had SARS,
Yeah.
and so they didn't want to fuck around with another pandemic, because they had lost a lot of young adults to it, and so they were like, we're gonna just wait until Corona's over before we kind of start talking about it again. So they're kind of at a stalemate right now.
Yeah, that'll probably pick up back
It's gonna
at the end of this year.
It's gonna pick up again. It's just a matter of like when.
Yeah, so you were only there for a few weeks, but then after that, so I guess you went from Hong. So sorry, where did you start after you left the United States?
Okay, I'm
just
gonna sound like
a quick refresher.
like a dick. But
Eat your cookies, bro.
All right.
Don't be ashamed. Eat
all
your
right, so
cookies.
we started to Florida just because I was the plane, because we were flying to Denmark. So I was in Denmark for like 2 weeks, and then after those 2 weeks, he's like, we gotta go Hong Kong, do the DDF stuff, and so we went to Hong Kong for those 2 weeks, and then I was back in Denmark for about like a month, about give or take. It was like 4 weeks, I think.
Yeah, and that whole time you're working with your uncle and you're working on the app, and then when did you go to California and the Virgin Islands?
About like I went to California twice.
Okay.
I went to California once. It was like August, and then I think it was like July and August when I went.
Now, is your great uncle coming on all of these trips with you?
Oh, I mean, yeah, like we're not just going to say fuck it, let's go. He's got like right. There's like people they got to meet there, because like like in order to like pay people and like do what you want to do, you have to get funds. So you got to talk to people like, who genuinely believe in like right education, and it's a hard sell, because a lot of like businesses or people who donate money also like are partners with like Visa or like some other credit union.
There's a lot of
and they don't want you to partner with someone who's gonna like have you
Go
question them.
So I
So
could see that being a very hairy.
it's kind of
mess
tricky.
of
but
businesses.
You get benefits though. So, but I feel like any nonprofit.
And so you went to
gets benefits.
California to talk to, I guess we could say, investors almost.
Yes. So, okay. I went to California. We went to, I think it was Oakland, to talk with, it was like an investing meeting, like how to gather more like people to invest. And so I was just kind of there. Like it wasn't just me, other people from Foolproof were there. But I was just like along for the ride pretty much. So that was cool to sit in. But I went to California mainly because Ramar is friends with not Amanda, but her mom, William Randolph Hearst, like great granddaughter or granddaughter. I have to get the right name.
William Randolph Hearst. What is he? Is he the?
So he was the dude, Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
He's the guy that he's based off of.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah. I'm remembering that now. His great granddaughter, your uncle's friends with.
Yeah, because I don't remember how they met. Actually, I do. Actually, not really. One of his interns ended up marrying. Ann Hurst is the woman I'm talking about. Ann Hurst is Ramar's friend, and William.
Y'all
Randolph
remember
Hearst.
last episode when we were talking about like feeling like you're the protagonist of the world and like feeling like you're more important than everyone else?
Yeah.
And I feel like his great uncle is like he's that guy.
He bro, I don't know how he does
He feels like Mr. Deeds almost. The great uncle from Mr. Deeds, the Adam Sandler movie, like the multi-billionaire.
Yeah. Well, like,
Explorer.
he'll gladly admit he's not like, the richest person ever. Like, Granny's not even that rich, but like,
Yeah.
the thing is like because he met, what's his name?
DHO guy?
No, freaking the reporter, Walter Cronkite. I think that's where they met Amanda, and so like he's a people person. A lot of the people he's friends with are because like they're genuinely nice people, but they're also like like they could be socialites, but like you don't want to surround yourself with people who are toxic. And that was the craziest thing, is that like out of all the things that we were doing and all the people we were seeing, I had a really, really like blessed kind of introduction, because all the people I'm meeting are like important, successful people, but they're also like really nice as well. And a lot of the times when you don't have that person to kind of, or that already knows the ropes, it's so much more hurtful. And like, because a lot of people aren't nice, but a lot of these people were nice. But anyways, we went to California because Amanda Hearst was getting married to Joachim Ronning. He just directed Maleficent 3 or 2, the second one. I think it's 2.
Yeah.
there's not a third
At
one.
that point, it would have been the second
Yeah.
one. Interesting.
And because he's like pretty good, he's like really close with, or not pretty, but like they're friends. And so he got invited to the wedding, and I was the intern at the time. And so I just got lucky.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because
Bring it
like,
along. It's all about connections too.
exactly. Like it was just like good timing, and like I'm just like really lucky. Like another guy, Chris, when he was intern, he had an interaction, like a few interactions with Lady Gaga, because she wanted to film at William Randolph Hearst Castle, like Hearst Castle in California, for one of her music videos. And Ramar is on the board for Hearst Castle, like for it's like a chairman, like if people want to use it.
Yeah.
Yes,
and
bro.
so
Protagonist
and
right
so
there.
she was like, yeah, well, like we want to shoot here. And then like a lot of people on the board were like, the fuck, no, what's wrong with you?
No.
Yeah, because they didn't really give a shit, because like
Yeah.
it's, like these people like they're who's Lady Gaga?
Yeah.
I'm me.
Yeah,
I don't
like
give a fuck.
it's-
This is mine, or not theirs, but like because technically the state owns it now, because that's how it still receives funding, because it's kind of like it's a big tourist attraction.
Yeah, it's like a public
So
protected there.
right. So where are we going with all of this? There's so much.
So in California,
Mhm.
you're meeting with some, like your
Right, yeah.
great uncle's meeting with people,
Right.
and you're doing work, following
Mhm.
them along.
Oh, right. But Chris interacted with Lady Gaga because he was like, "Hey, like, what are you doing? This would be really good for the castle. Like, if you want a lot of people to come visit the castle, Lady Gaga being in the area and
Definitely.
filming there,
She gonna
and
bring
then-
y'all that cash.
exactly. And then seeing it in the video, people are gonna be like, "What place is
Her
this?"
fan base. Yeah,
Mhm.
she putting more money
Exactly.
in the price.
And so he was like, "Okay, that's a good idea. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
do that." And so they did it. And so like it's funny. I was in Ramar's, and there's just like a mask that like a cutout of his face, and Lady Gaga is just like holding it.
The hell?
Yeah, it's just
Actually,
it's just like random. Like it's just really incredible, because like like they're not like the closest people in the world, but like
they do have business interactions.
right. But like you also like if you put forth more effort to like genuinely be kind, but not to do it for like you know,
Your own
the
clout.
exactly,
Yeah.
not the clout chase,
But
because
out of
no
the
one,
kindness of your heart. Yeah,
right? Because like you have to like bring something to the table.
Definitely.
So like, I think Ramar founded the trustee board for Hearst Castle, which is like if you want to be a member on the board to help support the castle, you pay X and then you get benefits that like normal public people couldn't do, like special tours and whatnot, and like and things like that. So like he was like, hey, like we should do this, and so it was like, oh yeah, that's cool. And so like you just have to bring something to the table, but also like not trying to clout chase.
Yeah.
'Cause that's the last thing like I think really anyone wants.
Especially older people, they'll sniff that shit out.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And it's just, you know, it's kind of noticeable.
yeah,
Because like people are either starstruck or they're not.
that's true. That's true.
So
So in California, you worked and stuff like that, but a lot of the exploits that I've heard
Right.
over the years that you
right,
took part of,
the ill-gotten gains.
like I guess tell us the story of getting hit on by Paris Hilton.
Right. Okay. So it happened here. This is actually the invitation to like one of the places, because it wasn't like the wedding wasn't just at like Hearst Castle. It was also like partly in L.A. And so I was like, cool. I've never been to L.A. This is great.
Yeah.
This is amazing. Cool. Thank you for letting me do this.
That's
And
sick.
so he let me keep the like invitation, but like it's like this.
That's sick.
It's just a
Yeah, like it's just
so it's like a plastic.
yeah. So like you look at it like
Is that glass?
No, it's plastic.
Oh.
But, like it looks like that, and that's just bougie as hell. Like
Yeah.
I think that's pretty tight.
God damn, it's even written in lowercase.
Dinner and dancing. Hey.
Yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of them are pretty themed, and everyone's just having fun. But it was really cool. And so where we were at Chateau Marmont, which is like
I can't wait to be that rich. So
Me too.
To where I just start sending invitations.
TJ, I don't know if any of us are ever gonna be there, buddy.
What are you talking about?
TJ said
we might have to
okay.
we might have to blur that out.
Oh wait, yeah, you're
Maybe.
totally right. You're totally
Maybe.
right. So you went to this wedding,
But yeah, so it was there, and it was like the place itself was really like historical. Like it's a historical like old like LA hotel. And so I feel like everyone's like idea when you go to LA is like, I'm gonna see something famous. I didn't know that Paris Hilton was gonna be there. And so like my first like 4 hours in LA is like, all right, we're here, we'll go to this thing.
All right.
So I dress up to like whatever the hell I gathered, and then I'm eating dinner, minding my business, talking to my buddy, the one friend I like made. I made a few friends, but like my buddy who I'm comfortable with to like drink with. We're talking. He's like, yeah, I think Paris Hilton's gonna DJ party after at the like the little gazebo in the back.
the reception, like the.
I'm like, cool, that's cool. Maybe I'll see her.
Maybe I won't.
Yeah, cool. And then dinner's over. People are outside talking. I'm talking to this dude, super blonde, right? Super cool. We're all just smoking cigarettes because everyone's drunk. Sorry, Mom, for listening. But like drunk people do drunk things. It's whatever. And they're all fucking European. So
Yeah, they've been smoking since they were 16.
And so like I'm just like talking to this dude. I'm like, oh, so like what brings you guys here? Like what? No, he's like, oh, like my girlfriend, yada yada yada. And then I'm like, yo, like we should link up because he says he's from Norway.
Right.
I was like, oh, Denmark's not that far. When I'm back, we can link up. It'd be cool. Follows me on Instagram, and then he has like 50K followers. I'm like, interesting. Like he didn't
Right.
like we were talking.
Seemed
He
like a
didn't
regular
mention
guy.
anything that like would warrant
But I feel like
50K followers.
in
But
the
that's just how
situation,
everyone is.
Yeah.
You know, it's just it's
like
whatever.
they chill.
Right. They
And
don't.
you,
give
I
a
mean,
shit.
you being yourself, you
Mhm.
chilling, you ain't doing like
What
you in your zone. You feel what I'm saying?
And normally, like it's just like one thing, but like what was different was that this dude's stepdad was the king of Norway, or prince. I don't know if it's prince or king because I know like,
Norwegian royalty.
Norwegian royalty
Wait,
hierarchy.
what? He
Yeah,
didn't-
yeah.
What?
It was his mom married the the prince, and
Bro, you just said when you started talking quiet, I thought you were gonna say like his breath smelled bad or something, but you whipped out that he's the what?
The
That's
stepson
amazing.
yeah,
of,
he's
Nor-
cool. He's cool, and wasn't the first prince I met either because I met one in Denmark. Because
Jesus.
they're cool. They're just chill. It's really weird. It's weird.
So was the pervasive theme with a lot of like the people that like in comparison to us normal ass people, like
I'm also normal. That was just like,
yeah, we're all like normal, like all these
I'm
people that you
just
met
saying.
that from our perception might be of like a higher social standing, whatever. Like the pervasive theme was that these guys were actually pretty normal. and
well, I
pretty-
mean, like in that, like, yeah, like it's because it was also like a social gathering of like friends. So of course most people are gonna be friendly off the cuff because like it's a,
yeah,
it's like a family event pretty much. But yeah, like the common theme was because like more instances like Paris came up where like I was running into like people who were
Yeah.
like pretty either wealthy or successful or right or whatnot, and like the common thing was like they're just nice, and like
Real.
you gotta like just connect with them with like as a person, because like a lot of the thing is like people are like like I want to be famous, and like even like actors who are like, if you want to act because you like acting and that's your passion, do it. Don't just do it because you
You're
like
trying to chase the bag. Yeah.
right, because you want to be famous.
Yeah.
Because like that's not like like it might
That's what I was
it's
saying.
not where if that's not where your heart's at, then
Sure.
like it's just not gonna like
But that's what I'm
truly
saying.
work out.
Yeah, your uncle put you on game, and you was being yourself out of like all
Right,
these
I was-
events, so of course you was gonna run into some
I-
cool, dope people.
I was being honest. I was like, honestly, I'm not even like really supposed to be here, but I'm enjoying it.
I'm from
Hey.
Georgia.
Yeah. I was like, I'm like working on this app thingy for this foundation. So that was cool to talk about. And then like I started hearing the music. I was like, oh shit, that sounds like DJ shit.
That sounds like that DJ mix.
And so like I walk in and they're the bomb bitches. Just Paris Hilton was there, fucking DJing with her sister, just there like in a room with like, by the way, the gazebo or whatever the fuck. It was an entire house. It was just a house. I was like, what the hell are these like proportions you guys are making? Like, anyways. And so I'm like super hyped because like LA, this is like honestly like probably the first like big name person I've like.
The most LA shit that has happened.
Right. And so I was like, yo, this is like crazy. I'm a little drunk. Like, it's whatever. It's cool. I'm gonna grab a quick vid of it. So like I got my snap out real quick. Just like boom, Paris, right there. Like closer than we are now.
right.
And then me, that I'm here. Put that shit back in my pocket.
Yeah, you
And
don't
then-
want to get caught doing that.
No, yeah, I was like, whatever. So I'm dancing, doing my thing. I'm not a terrible dancer.
You're
Not-
probably pretty bad. If
I'm
you say
I'm not a terrible I mean, evidently not. Because here's what happened. I'm gonna just lay it out. What happened? I'm dancing. Paris and I make eye contact, and then she goes to Nick. She's like, he's cute. And then her mom, like sees, and she goes like this. Paris Hilton's mom, Kathy, and she goes like,
drags
this.
you over with her
No,
finger.
no, not pretty much. Yeah, it was no dragging. It was pretty mutual. I was like, fuck yeah. And then like we danced for a little bit and called it a night. It was great. I was like, that shit was wicked.
Yeah, that's a time to remember though, no cap.
It was cool. And then I peeped that she whipped out her phone. I was like, I know she's gonna put that on Snapchat.
My mom dancing with this
Bro,
19-year-old.
No, she not that part. Just like at one part of the night, she whipped her phone. I was like, I hope.
Oh, you're on
I
her
hope my
snap,
kid-
like you
So
can see the back of your head.
So like that next day, I'm just like, I don't have her on Snapchat, but I'm searching in Paris Hilton. I'm like, oh, she asked them their story. Boop, oh, oh shit.
You're
I'm there for like 2 microseconds.
hell yes.
But I'm there. I was like, that was cool. That was a cool first LA thing. And then like, it went straight to my head. But that car ride home was cool. And then like I wake up and then it's like, right back to work. Because like I said,
Back
like,
to normal.
it's like working on the game because you got to like email the people in Hong Kong and you got that big ass time difference. And like, so it was really good though, because like, it's like you work hard and then like you see what like working hard can bring you. And then like, because I understand I only got there because Ramar, right? If anyone wants to get up to a point like that, you kind of have to put in your own work.
It's
Or just, some people are lucky and have money and, they can do whatever the fuck they want. But like,
Now that you're back, it's been
Mhm.
over a year since you came back from. You did go to some other places, like
yeah.
you went to the Virgin Islands.
Yeah.
and-
So I was there longer than I was anywhere else. I was there for like
Yeah, I
3.5 solid months.
and a little extra at the end, right?
Had to get a visa.
You got stranded there for a week, for like over a week, right?
When back in 2017.
Oh,
yeah.
that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. But
Yeah.
Yeah, there you.
I liked it though. It was cool.
Yeah, no, that does sound like the best place out of especially like from what you've told me of the people you've kind of met. But I guess just as a sort of a last thing about your like your journey through that. So I was gonna ask maybe like as an entire experience, do you like regret it as a whole or regret it any parts of it? But I don't think you do.
No, I don't.
And
Wow.
so I guess a better thing is to say like, so now that you're back, you're going back to school, and I mean you are a year behind other people your age, which isn't super important. But
I mean, my girlfriend is like 20, right? Her birthday's like 2 days. She graduates in December.
That's crazy.
How the fuck do you think that makes me feel?
I can't imagine, buddy, but I'll still be there for you.
But I'm proud. There you go.
I guess what
But
is some
it's whatever.
Being a 50 ain't that bad, bro. I'm probably gonna end up being a 50. If we're being honest, and school's like actually like going through with it.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. We're gonna get you through this, man. We're gonna get
this
you through.
first week ain't it.
Yeah,
man.
first week out of 1 week, out of one semester, out of 4 years.
Dude, the first week sets the tone. I don't care what you say.
I didn't do anything my first week.
Yeah, and that's how you set that trend of not doing anything any other week.
What are you talking about? I got straight A's last semester.
Yeah, you know.
Parsa, we're gonna get you that. We're gonna get.
I
you
got
that.
1B.
That's all right.
That's okay.
Was it in the class that you had to go to?
Yeah, actually it was.
The one class you had to go downtown for?
Yeah.
How were the Georgia State dorms?
Depends. Lofts, pretty lit. Commons, depends. Central, also depends.
What did you live in freshman year?
Central.
Wasn't very D&D friendly.
Nah, it's very, one room is a toilet, one room is a shower.
At least you don't
Hella
have to
weird.
use public bathrooms.
No,
Oh,
that was
yeah.
nice.
Dude, I can't
was
imagine
nice.
like living in a dorm and having to share a bathroom with people like
It was-
on your floor.
Jack down.
Oh, you put Jack all the way down.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
Jack, are you still here?
Yeah. Uh huh.
Were you talking?
No, I was just listening.
You know, he was just listening to us
I
roast
hit
him.
my cheek on the mic.
So now that you're back and you're going back to school and stuff like
Mhm.
that, what could you say is like the most important thing you've learned from an experience like that, both about like the work you did as well as the people you've met?
Because like there were like a few more instances like the Paris thing that like I don't really want to get into, but like that became a little bit more common as like the longer I was like an intern, because like working for this man, like all the things that he's done and then like met and then I met because of that really put it, like I don't regret it at all. Like your question was like, do I regret it? No, not at all. I think that it showed me that like genuinely if you want something, you will put in the work to do it, but also don't hesitate to like take a chance on people and things, because like a lot of the things that seem far-fetched really aren't that far-fetched. Like it's just a matter of like timing and connecting to like the right people and then for the right reason. Like, and beforehand, like I'll admit, like I think everyone at least at one point in their life was like, oh yeah, I want to be famous, I want to be rich, like all this stuff. Maybe not everyone, but I feel like I kind of did. And then I like had this instance, but it was like under the blanket of I also had to like put in a lot of work, but it was also really rewarding. But it also showed me like, hey, like you have to remember, I didn't work for any of this. I'm just lucky to have the opportunity to experience it.
You're just getting a trial. To see
Exactly.
if
That
you
would
wanna purchase
then
the full.
like hopefully inspire me to like want to do more, like just with what I have or like in life in general. Because like that's the thing, like online school is fine, but it's like compared to like what I was doing last year, it's just like they say you want like experience like after college, but then like I just did this thing and then like I feel like I dead ass worked on an app game and now
Yeah.
I'm like back in school talking about rocks. I don't give a fuck about rocks. I'm sorry.
Bro, I'm
So-
in geology too right now. That like, come on, bro.
So are you gonna
I
try
don't wanna
to
be taking that
are you gonna
right
try to
now.
maintain that balance between all right, I'm gonna definitely get my I'm definitely gonna pursue something in school, but on the end I'm also gonna work on other projects and
Well,
do other
like,
other things.
Because like a lot of the people I met throughout the whole thing, like I've tried to keep talking to, but also for like questions, like, because if I'm working on things and then they work on similar things and they have a really good mind and they're cool, I want to like have their advice or
Definitely.
like their word, or like, because you want to surround yourself with people with good influence or like what you aspire to be like. So if you like surround yourself with successful people, then you'll be better off. But I don't know, like obviously short answer, yes, it was worth it. I learned so much, and I think I just changed as a person, to be honest, like, because before I was very like naive and like hopeful, and now I'm just like, I acknowledge what you have to do, but also don't, be open-minded, because like you'd be surprised how kind people are. So
Despite like what kind of situation they're
Mhm.
living in, even
like,
What did you think about traveling that much? Like,
I
are
mean-
you like so comfortable with it now that you just like, are you more open to traveling more often?
I mean, I love traveling. I don't know people who don't like to experience new things, like new places. I was my grandma loves to travel, and she took all of her grandkids individually on like, when you graduate high school, I'll take you one place you want to go, which is also super lucky. And like my sister did it, and my 3 cousins did it, or my 2 other cousins did it. And then I was 14, 13, and she was like, where do you want to go? I don't really want to go when you graduate high school. We'll just do it now.
that's cute.
I was like, fuck it. Okay, cool. So I think I went to France. And like, so I had some previous like travel experience, but like this was like traveling because of business. So it's not like a lot of sightseeing. It's like a lot of, you're in a meeting in the middle of San Francisco, which is really fucking cool. But it's also like you don't really have a lot of time to like go
It
to
might,
San
as well,
Francisco.
be like any other city.
You just
like,
go out for lunch and then
exactly
get out of there.
And that was the thing. It was like really cool to see these places, because like I mean I made time, like whether it was like 30 minutes or like if like a few times I got like maybe a day to like see something or whatnot if it was really cool and I really wanted to. But personally, I don't really like have the want nor need to travel like that, especially now. But like, I understand a lot of people want to. Like I've literally been to a lot of places already, and I want to keep going to them.
Definitely.
But like you gotta be able to afford it and like do it safely. And like have an agenda when you go. Also, go with purpose and planning.
Yeah, it's expensive. You don't want to get there.
You don't want to get there and do nothing.
leave and then feel like
Mhm.
you wasted your time.
Mm-hmm.
But Nick, thank you for coming on. It was
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, it was
Mhm.
awesome to hear all your stories, bro. That was cool.
that
For sure.
I've never really heard it all in one continuous like thing. I've just heard these little snippets.
That was like a really weird, like, I wish I could tell you like the rest. It's so, maybe I'll tell you guys.
Yeah, I know there was
after.
another whole stint in the Virgin Islands where
Yeah.
you met Paul Rudd and
I don't even want to get it.
and that can be a story for another time.
He just goes, man, I want to talk more. But I don't want to get into that part. I
But
don't
that's like
But thank you for coming
Scary.
on. Great story. Thank you all for listening to this episode of the 426 podcast. I hope you have a wonderful day.